There's a lot of East London pride at stake tonight. Charlton entertain West Ham with memories of their first defeat of the season still fresh in their minds. They want revenge, but Alan Kirbishley has got problems. He's without 4 first choice now. They'll need Sean Bartlett in the sort of that he was against champions. And not for the first time this season, Harry's got his problems getting a side out as well. Our Monday night football from the Carling Championship comes from the Valley. Here on Sports 1, and for Sky Digital viewers, you can watch interactive. It's Charlton against West Ham. Well, it's all change at West Ham. Harry up here, still trying to spend most, if not all, of the money that he got in for Rio Ferdinand. Powell to Canio, available again tonight. And there's a couple of debutants as well. Sebastian Schemmel here. And Christian Dailly starts for the first time in the Hammers colours as well. Well, Harry was right, wasn't he? When they were bottom early in the season, there was no panic, and he said, we will be in the top half at the end of the season. Well, a win here tonight, they will go back into the top half, and Charlton are, what, Andy, 8 points they would regard as a safety target?
I think most coaches and managers in the Premiership, Richard, look at 40 points and say if we get there, then they're pretty confident they're going to stay up. But you have to remember that it fluctuates from season to season depending on really how they've done down there. You look at Bradford last, 36 points was enough for them to stay in the Premiership. Whether 36 points will be enough this year, I don't know. I mean, I remember, I think Palace went down with 44 points one year. So it can be as much as 8 points of a gap between staying up and going down. I mean, it really is that hard to predict. But I think if they get 14, I think Alan would know that. He would take them right now and say, thanks, we can work on next year being in the Premiership.
Alan Kirbishley names the same side that drew 0-0 at Southampton last week. Mark Kinsella, the skipper, and top scorer Jonathan Johansson, both still unavailable with a knee injury. Harry Redknapp indeed did give 2 debuts to 2 of his new signings. 1.75 million capture from Blackburn, Christian Dailly, and the Frenchman Sebastian Schemmel. He's a right-sided wing-back on loan from Metz until the end of the season. So, Charlton line up like this. English youngsters Paul Konchesky and Scott enjoyed their best run ever in the side. They both start their 5th successive games tonight. And front is a South African and a Swede in the shape of Bartlett and Svensson. FA Cup 3rd round hero John Salako is again on the bench. 4 changes for West Ham. Shaka Hislop has recovered from the knee problem that forced him off at half-time in the 2-0 defeat at home to last week. Forrest continued to deck time. Stuart misses his first game of the season. He's served a 1-man for 5 yellow cards. And Steve Thomas and Trevor Sinclair are also injury victims. Michael Carrick returns after recovering from a hamstring problem. 10-year-old Steve Bywater comes in as a substitute. Sven-Goran Eriksson is here at the Valley tonight. He's seeing his 5th Premiership game in 10 days. Unfortunately, over half the players he's been watching haven't been English. Back to you, Richard.
Right, some unfamiliar names tonight as well. What have we got?
Well, line-up-wise, it could... There's where I think... I think when we look at West Ham, is that West Ham in blue, are they tonight? I think we'll put them in blue. What we'll get from West Ham is pretty much what you get from Harry. They don't have a lot of players, but where they're going to have to play well, Rich, is along the back. They're going to play with the 3 at the back. But when you think that between these players, those 3 centre-backs, you talk about areas of each other and go on and communicate. Christian Dailly making his debut. Tihinen has only played 3 times, and Rigobert Song 7 games, not all of them completed. You see how inexperienced these 3 are together. I think Charlton may well try and impose themselves early on in this game, really put pressure on this back 3. They'll play with the new boy, Schemmel, on the right-hand side. That's pretty standard for... And Nigel Winterburn, the evergreen, on the left. But it's in midfield, I think, where the game may be won, and it may change, because we're going to have 3 players in here, in Cole and Lampard and Carrick, that are really talented, all very good on the ball, all want to get on it, all can play. Frank Lampard can score goals, so can Joe Cole. But when you look at what Charlton are going to come in with, initially we believe they're going to start across the back. And that's all right, they can go in with the across the back there. Now, if they do that, it would be the standard midfield players. Graham should be in there, 2 central and 1 on the right. Now, what this team has the ability to do, because of Fish at right back here has actually changed. Now I think if they're being dominated, let's just say for these three here, 1, 2, 3, are starting to dominate the central midfield area and they're bossing the game. I think you might find Alan Kirby's do, Richard, is just, where we move them, here we go, I think he'll just move people. He'll just take Graham Stuart from this left-hand side here and he'll just drag him in field. They'll go like for like, 3v3 in there. Come on, wait, move, as you're told. And then just shift them across. Push up there. And then everyone, I think, will move in one. In, say to Fish, who's very comfortable at centre-back, he's played there for Bolton all the time. Tuck him in, and then they'll go like for like. But initially we may find Charlton starting with a 4, but don't be surprised if they're being dominated that they switch to a 3 and go like for like.
Sean Bartlett, Charlton not in a position to name the 2 up front that they would like to tonight, but Sean Bartlett, 2 goals against the champions. What is he?
Well, he's a decent player, I have to say, Sean Bartlett. I think when he arrived, it does take a little bit of time, but he's 2 goals against Manchester United. If you want a boost to your confidence, my goodness, get 2 goals against the champions. If that don't boost your confidence, nothing will. They're the only goals he's scored, Richard. You know, but as an international, I have to say his record is very good. 19 goals in 46 games as an international, so that's good. But they've seen little cameos of him here, and what we're seeing are headers. I mean, almost all of these chances he's meeting with the head. He gets into positions. I like somebody who's not afraid to put themselves in there, Richard, in the 6-yard box. You asked me what Arsenal are lacking away from home. I think probably things like this. People putting themselves in there where it really matters. And he seems to do that. And if he continues to do that, he'll continue to get goals. But there's more to him than we saw there. There's more about Sean Bartlett than just a player who gets in the end of crosses. He's a better player than that. He links it up quite well. He's got decent movement. And Alan Kirby shall be hoping that he performs as well as he did against United.
Watching television over a sustained period of time, it can be quite dangerous.
I have to say, you don't realise how painful a high tackle from a coffee table can be. Honestly, seriously.
Let's hear from Alan Kirby with Claire Tomlinson.
Alan, 5-0 on Boxing Day. Have you got revenge in mind this evening?
Well, no, I think it's... A lot of people have been talking about revenge. I think it's 3 points. Or 1 point, you know, that's what we're after. It's not revenge. I think that game's gone, but not forgotten. And, you know, it's a big game tonight for everybody. It's not so much revenge, but if we get it, that'll be okay.
Do you think it was a bit of a turning point in the season for you as far as the league's concerned?
Well, I've said it was a little bit of a wake-up call, but I think what basically happened, you know, we've been winning at home and doing okay away, but not picking any points up. And, you know, I was then getting in a situation where we came back here and we got another result and went back away from home and didn't get anything again. And, you know, I was using 1 or 2 excuses. This went wrong, that went wrong. But after the West Ham game, we had no excuses. You know, it was a poor show. They played well, but it was a poor show. And we shook it up a bit, and we shook it up, and we got the response, and you know, that's what we needed to do. So you know, we're quite pleased since the West Ham game.
You supported them as a kid. You started your career there. Is there extra spice for you in games against them?
Well, I think, you know, it always is, isn't it? You know, I was born 2 miles away, 3 miles away from Upton Park, and went there as a 12-year-old, and you know, it was my club. But you know, we all move on, and different things have happened. But obviously, you know, when you go back or when we play them, I get a lot of ticket demands and everything else. But in all fairness, I said earlier, it's 3 points tonight. I'm not too concerned who we get them off. But if we can get them tonight, I'll be well pleased.
You've had some unlucky injuries to strikers, 8 partnerships in 23 games. That's not helped.
Well, it's not helped them, because like trying to form a partnership has been virtually impossible, because it would have only lasted a couple of games every time we put them together. But I look around the league and I think it's a common factor at the moment. You know, look at West Ham. They've come here tonight with quite a few missing. I went and watched Spurs at the weekend, they've got a few missing. And it's just a common thing, I think, at the moment. There's only 1 or 2 clubs that are escaping it. Let's hope we get everybody fit and we can have an injury-free run in. 1 or 2 of them will be fit in a couple of weeks' time. Johansson, Hunt and Kinsella. So let's hope they get back as soon as possible.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Top man for coming to Dagenham the other week when the cup tie was called off to sit in an empty stadium. Highlights, of course, Saturday night of the 3rd round replay between the 2. Now, Christian Dailly plays tonight. You mentioned you had some concerns about West Ham's 3 because they haven't played together a lot. But he's an experienced defender, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's Christian Dailly. What they've bought in Christian Dailly, Rich, is a player who can, and I mean this, he can play anywhere on the football pitch. I remember him at Dundee United. And he was a young boy, and everyone was talking about being a great goal scorer. He didn't quite materialise in that, but he's played midfield. He's played wing back, full back, centre back. He really can play right across the back line. He's not the biggest, Christian, at all. You see that, but he's got good mobility, he's got decent pace, not a problem with that. He is experienced, as you say. You know, 26 caps for Scotland suggests that. And it's not a problem. I mean, at 1.75 million, that is not bad business. You know, 2.5 years at Blackburn, 2 years at Derby in the top league. So Christian's got a lot of experience. And Harry would have looked at that and thought, well, I've got myself an all-round player who can play right across the back line and probably just at the right age as well.
And here is happy Harry Redknapp with Jeff Shreves. Harry, with injuries and suspension, have you had to completely reshape your defence tonight?
Yeah, we have. It's been difficult. We brought a lad in from Metz, Schemmel, the right back. He played against us from Metz last season, or season before in the Intertoto Cup. I've took him on loan and I've thrown him straight in the team. And the Finnish lad as well, Tihinen's playing tonight at the back. We've got, I've got Ian Pearce, Stimach, Stuart Pearce, Shaka Islop, Stevie Lomas, and Trevor Sinclair all missing. So we've had to reshuffle the team.
With Christian Dailly making his debut as well, is it less than ideal that the debutants are all in defence?
Well, as I say, we've got an awful lot of key defenders missing. Stuart Pearce has been superb. We certainly could have done with him out there tonight, as well as the other lads who are missing. So we'll see how we go. It'll be a big test for him, but he's looking forward to it.
The 5-0 battering you handed Charlton on Boxing Day had a big effect on them. What effect did it have on your players, and what effect will it have tonight?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we played very well that day. We had a well-balanced team. I like the look of the team that day, and we went out and played very well. But as you say, since then, we've not quite been able to get the same sort of team out because of injuries and suspension. So we've had to chop and change a bit. We've had a couple of tough games since then. We, went to Old Trafford and they were excellent against us. We went to Walsall and played very well and won there. And in Sunderland at home last week, it was a scrappy game to be fair, but we came out on the wrong end of that one. So, but no, we know it'll be a tough game tonight. They're going to be up for it. They're a good side. I said at the start of the season that I didn't think Charlton would be a relegation team, and nothing I've seen has changed my mind. I think they're a good outfit.
We'll wait and see. Thanks. They closed the gap a touch. Coventry and Manchester City changed places, but no change in the teams in the drop zone. Derby, Borough, Everton, Southampton, Villa, Leeds, West Ham at the moment in the bottom half. They, of course, can get themselves into the top half of the Premiership with a win tonight. Then it's Tottenham, Charlton, Chelsea, Leicester, Newcastle, Ipswich, Liverpool, Arsenal, Sunderland, Manchester United, top of the pile, of course, 13 points clear of Sunderland. To the Valley then to join our match commentators Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Good evening. Well, tonight we've got two teams who love to get the ball down and play a wet and zippy surface. Plenty of connections between the two clubs in this East London derby. A good atmosphere from a capacity crowd. Trevor, it's got all the makings.
It certainly has. I think that the big incentive for West Ham is if they win tonight, they can go above Charlton. But I think for Charlton, they've had a fantastic season already. I didn't realise, that they're already 15 points better off than they were last time in the Premiership. And of course, the magic total they're aiming for is 40. They're just 8 away from that. So they're very much on course, to finish well above 40 points. So they're having an outstanding season. The pitch tonight is very greasy. We've had a lot of rain today. So I think it's going to be a very good footballing game.
Let's check on the lineups then. Well, Charlton have changed things round defensively after their 5-0 hammering at West Ham on Boxing Day, and they've since conceded only 2 goals in 4 games. Mark Fish's been moved to right back. Andy Todd's come in alongside Richard Rufus in the centre, and 19 years old Paul Konchesky has been brought in at left back. In attack, where they have so many players out injured, Charlton continue with the experimental partnership of Sean Bartlett and Matthias Svensson.
Yes, you mentioned, Alan, that they moved to a back 4. I think that one of the reasons they've changed around is because only the bottom 4 teams have conceded more goals in the Premiership than Charlton. I think that Fish is a vitally important member who's been playing the centre of the defence. He comes in tonight at right back, where he's been playing for the last couple of games. But it's a flexible formation because they've got the option, if they need to move to a 3 at the back with Fish, Rufus and Todd. Then Konchesky will play as a wing-back on the left, and Kishishev will be a wing-back on the right-hand side. In the middle of the park, Scott Parker, I think he's gained from his experience on loan at Norwich. He's come back into the team to take the place of the captain Kinsella. He plays more of a holding role, allowing Jensen to get forward into attacking positions. If they were to go with a midfield 3, then Stuart would play much more narrower on that left-hand side. Up front, it's not the favoured front 2. I think that would probably be Johansson and Hunt, but at the moment, because of injuries, they're playing with Bartlett and Svensson as the front 2.
Now West Ham and Harry Redknapp's been forced to make 4 changes from the team that lost at home to Sunderland. Craig Forrest replaces Shaka Hislop in goal. Hislop has a knee injury and he's also gone down with flu. Stuart Pearce is serving a one-match suspension. So Christian Dailly, just signed from Blackburn, comes in for his debut. There's also a first appearance for French wing-back Sébastien Schemmel, and Michael Carrick returns in midfield. Trevor Sinclair and Steve Lomas join the long list of injured players.
Yes, I mentioned that Charlton may change to a 3 if necessary. When they see this lineup, they could possibly do that. You can see there Song, Tihinen and Dailly are the back 3, along with Forrest, the goalkeeper. What springs to mind there is the fact that they're all internationals, but in terms of their experience at West Ham, well, they're relatively untried. Very little time could have been performed on the training field to get a settled back 3, and also the right wing back Schemmel, he's new to the lineup. The only regular this season is a left wing back Winterburn. Midfield, a very talented midfield 3 there of Lampard, Carrick and Cole. I think that Carrick will be the more holding one. He'll be the one that will come to receive from the back 3, thus allowing Lampard and Cole to push forward. I think Cole will probably try and play just in behind the front 2 of Kanoute into Canio. These 2 are very, very talented front 2, and I think they could cause a problem tonight for the Charlton back 4.
Well, Charlton say that it was their worst performance of the season at Upton Park on Boxing Day. They were embarrassed how bad they were, and in fact Mark Kinsella, the captain, who's amongst the players out injured tonight, even apologised to the fans. Well, if you take the Woolwich ferry across the River Thames, Charlton and West Ham are just a few miles apart. They're even closer in the league table, and with a capacity crowd inside the valley, there's a cracking derby match atmosphere for the meeting of Charlton Athletic and West Ham United. And of course, we'll have the whole game live.
5-0 to West Ham on Boxing Day when they met. That's the Hammers' only win in the last 6. Charlton have won 7, lost 2 of the last 13. At the Valley, the Hammers haven't done well down the years. Only 1 win. That was 43 years ago, October 57. 3-0, Billy Dare, John Smith and Malcolm Musgrove, the scorers. To the Valley then, to join our match commentators. Well, there were 1 or 2 problems, Andy, as we...
I tell you what, between coffee tables tackling £18 million centre-backs and goalposts getting taped up.
It's been quite a night,
It's been a good night, isn't it? Now, obviously the net's a little bit loose there.
Remember one popping out like that at Stamford Bridge?
Yeah.
Alan Hudson, was it? Many years ago. It's time then for Charlton against West Ham United, a Sky Sports production available in widescreen, Dolby surround sound and interactive for Sky Digital viewers with their stats, highlights, full screen camera angles, player cam and fan zone, of course. Let's join Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Richard. Welcome back. It'll be West Ham United who get us underway. Charlton have lost only once at the Valley this season, and home and away they've already won more games than during the whole of their previous season in the Premiership. This is going to be a tough night, you feel, for an understrength West Ham team that's won only once in its last 6 Premiership games.
Yes, I think the key to Charlton doing well tonight is to try and quieten one of possibly 3 of the most talented players in British football. That's the front 2, Kanoute, who's in excellent goal-scoring form, Canio, who plays alongside him, and Joe Cole.
The South African international striker Sean Bartlett, the subject of our player cam on Sky Digital Channel 404 for the opening 15 minutes. And he's up against a new look West Ham defensive formation tonight. And remember, West Ham have 2 players making their debuts in Christian Dailly and new Frenchman Sébastien Schemmel.
Yes, it was actually anticipated, Alan, that Dailly would play on the left-hand side of the 3. He's actually starting at the moment as the central one of the 3, with Tihinen on the left and Rigobert Song playing on the right-hand side of the 3.
Dailly having just signed for £1.75 million from Blackburn. Several clubs interested in his signature. Very experienced Scottish international who's had almost 5 years now in English football. Pushed possibly by Svensson. Referee Dermot Gallagher allows play to go on. This is Tihinen, another of the relatively new players. It's only his 5th appearance for West Ham tonight. Joe Cole dispossessed, but wins the throw. He too, like so many at West Ham this season, has had a fair few injury problems. Stuart with a good through ball. And it goes back in his direction. Rigobert Song got it away. And Carrick under pressure from Stuart. Kishishev on the far side, trying to keep this momentum going for Charlton Athletic. Stuart's there yet again. Produced a problem. Lampard getting it clear. Kanoute at the other end. Richard Rufus in with the first challenge and the second. Good defending.
Well, it's certainly a good night for slide tackles. Surface very, very greasy. It's raining quite hard at the moment. Saw a typical Rufus challenge there. And the new guy, Schemmel. Good introduction to him to English football.
Konchesky in a bit of trouble in the corner. Schemmel on loan from Metz and finds himself offside. He's just 25. A player that you might have heard Harry Redknapp saying he remembers playing well against West Ham for Metz in an Inter-Toto Cup tie last season. And he's basically in because Trevor Sinclair is one of the many walking wounded at West Ham these days. Svensson getting up well. It comes back to him. Charlton Athletic have taken 7 points from their last 3 Premiership matches. They've beaten Arsenal here, won 4-1 at Manchester City, and then a goalless draw at Southampton. A big improvement since that hammering on Boxing Day against West Ham at Upton Park. Konchesky in possession again. Stuart playing a lot in the early build-ups here for Charlton. Kanoute tries to get away from his man. He was fouled in the end by Fish. Dailly's free kick was a good one. Almost played it right onto the chest of Kanoute. And Charlton in a little bit of trouble. Close. Joe Cole instantly onto the mistake.
Well, he was certainly quick to get onto this, Alan. Suggestion of a little bit of holding by Rufus on Kanoute, but the ball drops to Cole. Beats Rufus onto his left foot. Takes it early. Tries to surprise Kiely.
Only 9 of the 22 starting are Englishmen as Sven-Goran Eriksson continues his whirlwind tour of the Premiership. South African Mark Fish with the through ball, looking for the Swede Svensson. And to continue the theme, the Canadian Craig Forrest collects for West Ham. He's been out of the game for some 9 months with a serious injury. It's only his second game back. He came on as a half-time substitute against Sunderland for his lot. And Parker using the ball well. Kishishev. Tihinen stepped in to win it back, and now Cole for West Ham, playing in their change strip of all blue tonight. Bit optimistic that for Powell de Canio. He's been out as well, de Canio, with illness, which made him miss a couple of games. He did come back in the previous game against Sunderland. Tihinen tried to attack the ball, but the challenge was even better on him. There's Konchesky. Referee getting in the way. And Konchesky with the through ball. Chance here! What a wonderful start! Bartlett gives Charlton an early lead.
Well, just the start that Charlton wanted. I think Mr. Gallagher, the referee, played a part in it. It's a lovely little ball down the side of Tihinen. onto Bartlett's right foot, who calmly slots the ball past Forrest into the corner of the net. But a great attacking run by the left back Konchesky, who makes it all possible, but a great finish by Bartlett.
Well, he scored 2 goals to make himself an instant hero in his debut against Manchester United. That's his first goal since then for the South African international, making his 7th appearance only for Charlton tonight. He's on loan from FC Zurich in Switzerland. But what an important part Paul Konchesky played in that goal. He's keeping out the much more experienced Powell on the Charlton left-back position at the moment. And I know they have got great thoughts about the future for Konchesky and also the other young man, Scott Parker, playing in midfield. Rufus with the clearance under pressure from Kanoute.
It's certainly a good positive run from Konchesky, but I think also, Alan, the credit must go to the finisher, Bartlett. He still had plenty to do. Forrest came off his line to try and narrow the angle. He knew exactly where the corner of the net was. A good angle shot across Forrest, giving the West Ham keeper absolutely no chance. It really was a well-taken goal.
They've had so many front players injured this season. They've had to keep, as you may have heard, chopping and changing the formations up front. It's only the 2nd time that Bartlett and Svensson have played together. But what a wonderful start they've made. And in some measure, down to this young man, Konchesky. Here's the other young player who was a product of Charlton's own youth scheme, Parker. Not his fault, it was given away there. It was Jensen who made the mistake. Kanoute, Rufus with the early challenge. The referee didn't like it. Dailly will add his presence to the West Ham threat from this set piece. Lampard and Carrick, the 2 players over the ball. It's Lampard who gets it in. And the corner's been given there. Canio looked to make a clean contact. Have another look.
Yeah, nicely flighted ball. I can't quite see whether it was a corner or not. Judging by the reaction of the Charlton supporters behind the goal, they obviously thought it was a goal kick.
Canio's gone to receive the ball short from the corner. Lampard. And here's the new man, Schemmel. It was just the start. West Ham were dreading having lost 3 of their last 4 Premiership games. Defeats at Leicester and Manchester United, then home against Sunderland last week. They're down to 11th in the table, though if they win tonight they will go above Charlton on goal difference into 9th place.
Yes, you're absolutely right there, Alan, but you can imagine Alan Kirbishley prior to the game saying we've got to get off to a bright start, impose ourselves on the game, put the West Ham back 5 under pressure immediately. They're certainly untried, and that's what they've done. It's the perfect start.
Very satisfying for Alan Kirbishley, who of course made almost 100 appearances in his playing career for West Ham, club where he started out, and lived not far from their Upton Park ground. Todd with the through ball, cleared by Rigobert Song. Kanoute will chase at the other end. Now is a bit sharper on that occasion than Rufus. He did well with the clearance under pressure, and the header on takes it towards Svensson. Important interception there by Song. Lampard takes over, and Fish did well to spot the danger and stop it. Here's Jensen. Stuart. This is Todd. And now Parker. Fish looks for the goal scorer, Bartlett. The head drops straight to Lampard, though. And an early layoff by Canio. Joe Cole. And this is Kanoute. Canio with a very spectacular effort from that range. Before their recent improvement, Charlton had suffered 4 defeats in their previous 6 league games and dropped as low as 14th in the table, but the hammering at West Ham sought them to think again about their defensive formation, and it seems to have worked. Rufus and Mark Fish, the aerial challenge here for the West Ham defence to deal with. Defender Todd with the free kick, looking for Rufus. The linesman spotted some pushing going on there, and West Ham have a free kick out of that. His header on, should be no problem for Mark Fish. Rufus gets it clear. Bartlett's layoff. Parker onto Stuart. Good football again from Charlton. The early goal giving them the confidence they needed to play their passing game here. Jensen. Danger here as well. They got 3 in the middle. The pass was delayed, but still picks out Parker. Forrest judged it well.
Once again, excellent passing from Charlton. Parker there just letting it come off his left foot, but he's made a very promising start tonight. I mentioned earlier that he had a little loan spell at Norwich. He's come back much better for it. That little bit of experience playing in first-team football has certainly benefited him, and now benefiting Charlton Athletic. It's an interesting little confrontation in the centre of the park, because he's up against 2 other young boys in Cole and Carrick.
Now Kanoute for West Ham, they're 1 down. The ball finds Cole. Canio's ahead of him. Kiely chose to get a hand to it and could easily have deflected it into the path of Canio.
That's where Cole's at his best, when he's up there just in behind the front 2 of Kanoute and Canio, linking behind the front 2. So effective.
There's Jensen. Konchesky. Could have been a dangerous ball in, and almost turned into one as Dailly went for the header. Kanoute touches it on. Canio had come the other side of him, though, making it easy for Mark Fish. But it might not be easy for Kiely. Well, Canio was sharper and brighter than anyone on the pitch then. He realised there was danger when no one else did.
Yes, there's 2 ways of looking at that. You can either say that's a mistake from Kiely, but if you want to look at the other way, that's tremendous pressing from Canio.
Kishishev's header, cleared by Tihinen, and Canio will keep the pressure on again here. Kiely at least knows where the threat's coming from this time. He had rather more time to get it clear. And once again, Canio, the linesman in fact had already flagged. Offside decision. Lovely long ball from Parker, aimed towards Svensson. Robert Song anticipated the danger. Parker's there again. Stuart takes over. Kishishev with the early cross. Tihinen just got a deflection. Konchesky bold enough to take on Schemmel round the outside. Song's clearance could prove dangerous for Charlton, but Rufus very calm. And Todd picks out Fish. Kishishev dispossessed by Winterburn. And then given away by West Ham. Now Kanoute. Canio takes over. Still Kanoute. Kishishev's challenge leaves him on the deck, and Charlton had the ball back, but almost not for long, I was going to say, till the referee blew the whistle and awards Charlton a free kick for the challenge on Kishishev. Did well again, Bartlett, and a very impressive effort by Kishishev, first time. For the next quarter of an hour, our Sky Digital camera will be following on channel 404, one of West Ham's debutants tonight, Sebastian Schemmel. Rufus's clearance played straight against Cole. A problem for Konchesky as Kanoute closed him down. He dealt with it well and indeed even wins the throw for his team, to Kanoute's disappointment. Konchesky taking the throw himself is the youngest player ever to appear in Charlton's first team. He was just 16 when he made his debut 3 years ago. Canio and now Winterburn as West Ham try to get back level. Charlton's throw.
Excellent pressing again from Charlton. Didn't allow Winterburn to settle on the ball. Kishishev supported quickly by Graham Stuart.
There's Schemmel. Lampard finds Carrick. Winterburn to his left. Cole, Canio and Kanoute all ahead of him. It is the man captaining West Ham tonight, Powell Canio. Schemmel. It looked a promising attack till the mistake there by Kanoute, but West Ham have it back with Winterburn. Doesn't get many goals. They're usually spectacular when they do come along.
Yes, been a bit optimistic there because he actually had a good situation where he could have exploited. Young Joe Cole went to his left-hand side to make 2-on-1 against Fish. He tried the spectacular shot from 25 yards. Probably the wrong option.
Out of all those goal attempts, just one on target, and it really was on target because it gave Charlton Athletic their early lead. The scorer, Sean Bartlett, who wins that header in splendid style. Svensson couldn't keep the mood going. It's West Ham's throw.
Yes, apart from actually scoring the all-important goal, Bartlett has troubled West Ham throughout this opening 20 minutes with his aerial dominance. Most balls that are played in forward areas, he's getting up very well, constantly causing a problem to the West Ham back three.
His partner, Matthias Svensson, hasn't made quite such an impressive start. He's given it away here. And Forrest rather nervously prods it out to one of the newcomers, Tihinen, the Finnish international, who promptly gives it straight back to Charlton. Deep kick by Kiely. Tihinen gets it away. Jensen's there. Good strong challenge by Todd. A little back healer from Schemmel. Lampard seems to get the pressure on straight away. unusually, by Paolo Di Canio, who has to blame somebody, so he blames the linesman. Konchesky, good ball again. Kishishev. This is Svensson. Bassila wasn't expected by Kishishev, who still made it difficult for Christian Dailly.
I don't think anyone expected this.
Charlton currently 9th in the Premiership. They've won 9, lost 9, drew the other 5. And if they win tonight, they'll go above Chelsea into 8th place. Canio, it's a lovely ball. Lampard's downward header for Kanoute. And it's the night of the Bassila by the looks of it. Not all as successful as others. Schemmel, Canio, and now Carrick for West Ham. Well, there's no doubt that Charlton have settled into the game much better than West Ham in the first quarter of this match.
Yes, just the mere fact that Charlton is still playing with 4-4-2 is a strong indication that they're happy with the opening 23 minutes of this game, because they had the option of moving to a 3. What with the opening goal, it's given them the start they wanted, and they're quite happy at the moment playing 4-4-2.
Konchesky's clearance. Oh, a lovely touch on that by Bartlett. Christian Dailly, quick to see the danger. Svensson. Song, the first defender. Oh dear, he really has had an unhappy start to the match. Swedish international, of course, who used to play for Portsmouth and Crystal Palace. Great control by Kanoute. It was a very impressive tackle by Konchesky, who started this game in impressive style. Carrick for West Ham. Powell takes over. Schemmel. Canio still running. The challenge by Todd. And a goal kick the outcome. He won't be too happy about that, Powell. Continuing his usual dialogue with the officials.
I think clearly he was looking for the free kick, but the linesman just 2 yards away from him didn't buy it.
A brave header there by Bartlett. Then Parker comes to win it back, but gives it away to Song. On to Schemmel. Canio. Lost Konchesky this time. Lampard. Joko. Schemmel. Wins the throw off Todd, whose father, of course, Colin, is now back in the Premiership as well, alongside Jim Smith at Derby County. Dispossessed by Rufus. Stuart. Bartlett's got into a great position here. It wasn't there, though.
This is an urgent message for Jason Gridley in the East Stand.
But generally, Charlton playing with the confidence you'd expect of a team who's lost only once at home this season in the Premiership. A 1-0 defeat here against Sunderland in November. They've won 7 and drawn 3. And Alan Kirbishley's team have only conceded 7 goals in those 11 matches. Just Manchester United and Sunderland can claim a better defensive record at home than that. Well, the tackler's flying in, as you'd expect for a derby. These two clubs just a few miles apart. Although a few miles in London can take you quite some time. For Canio, lovely looking ball, and Todd across to clear the danger. Charlton have it back with Parker. Good balls well from Kishishev to pick out Stuart. Dailly's clearance. Good pressure from Charlton. They forced West Ham all the way back to Craig Forrest. And he indicates where he's going to launch this one. Kanoute wins the header. This is Canio. Mark Fish, the defender, and Kishishev helping him out. That left room for Winterburn. On to Carrick. Decent effort.
This is a good effort from Carrick. Onto his right foot, shoots across Kiely. And I think Kiely has it covered as it just goes past his outside far post. But a good effort that from Michael Carrick.
Who's only ever scored a couple of goals in his fledgling career.
Once again, good positive play. He made the opening himself. He had the option of playing the ball wide to the new man Schemmel. He elected to go alone, got the shot in. It wasn't far away.
Svensson dispossessed meantime by Rigobert Song. On to Joe Cole. West Ham have come more into it in the last few minutes. Lampard, now Winterburn. Carrick's there again. Kanoute. Here's Cole. Schemmel. 10 men behind the ball for Charlton at the moment. No way through for West Ham, who end up giving it away anyway. Svensson. Getting on his back at the moment because he's had a pretty unimpressive opening half an hour. This is Dailly. Kanoute made the early run. He tried to pick him out. Bartlett's strength in the air has been a real feature of the first 30 minutes here for Charlton. Parker on the ball for them. Now Todd. Not where he wanted to play the clearance there, Song. Kishishev couldn't quite reach it. Winterburn did, and Tihinen lashes it clear. Ball back to Konchesky didn't do him any favours, so he says to Kiely, no, you sort it out, and he did. Bartlett just seems to hang in the air when he goes up for those headers. Here's Lampard. Schemmel, good return ball. Kanoute's ahead of him. Very calm play by Mark Fish. Stuart pressurised quickly though by Canio. West Ham's best spell in the game, this. Cole. I'm not sure the referee did them any favours there. Cole seemed to be away, but the whistle from Dermot Gallagher brings him back. Free kick.
That's when it's a problem for Charlton, when the three midfield players of West Ham, Carrick, Lampard and Cole get on the ball, pass the ball short between one another, and they're playing against the two.
Canio's ball in. Meantime is dealt with by Fish. You can sense from the crowd's reaction that West Ham, for the first time in the game, are getting on top in terms of possession. Still a goal behind. And that's perhaps indicated by the statistics for the last few minutes. Dailly's clearance, straight at Jensen. Stuart, Charlton captain. Parker calms it down. Now Konchesky again, who was actually born in Barking, West Ham territory. This is Jensen. Sloppy layoff by Kishishev. Winterburn made sure it was his. It goes on to Cole. And on still further to Powell de Canio. Anything can happen when he's on the ball. Splendid pass to pick out Schemmel. And Kiely obviously gave the shout there to Konchesky and leave it to him. It was the right decision.
Yes, he was nice and bright there, wasn't he, Kiely? Got his fullback out of trouble. Nice, bright and alert. But it was a great crossfield ball from Canio to Schemmel, and it really needed a better cross from him.
West Ham, like Charlton, have lost as many games as they've won in the Premiership this season. In their case, it's 7 victories, 7 defeats. They've drawn the other 8. Well, they've only taken 1 point from their last 3 away games. That was in a draw at Everton. They lost at Leicester and Manchester United. They conceded a free kick here. Tallest centre-backs, Fish and Rufus, going into West Ham's penalty areas. A lot of pushing and shoving going on there. Referee can't have eyes everywhere. And the linesman is there to help him out, as he did then, because he saw some infringement, and West Ham have a free kick. The next quarter of an hour, our Sky Digital Channel 404 camera will be following Scott Parker. He gets the first touch straight away. Stuart and Parker again. Carrick doing his best to win it back, and successfully so. For the home fans expecting a free kick. Svensson. Konchesky. There was a decent ball. It forced Song to make a decision. Stuart again. Bartlett the target. Inevitably he wins the header. And Svensson's done better this time. Looking again for Bartlett. It comes to Stuart. Well, they would have caught that one. West Ham might have been in trouble. It could be Charlton in danger. Schemmel. And Cole, they back away. Look for Kanoute. Close, very close.
Well, you just feel there that Cole was given a little bit too much time on the ball. If you give him that much time, he's going to pick his spot. He does that. Kanoute up against Fish, gets the better of him. He's inches away from getting the equaliser for West Ham. He's certainly got an impressive away record this season in terms of scoring goals, Kanoute. Last 5 games, scored in every game. What's interesting, you know, is that of his 10 goals this season, 7 of them have come away from home. He really is the man in form for West Ham.
Schemmel's cross was a beauty and a bite, everyone. Not Winterburn, came to him on the wrong foot, trying to get it on his left. The Canio, happy on either foot, corner the outcome. Interesting corner, not quite sure it was intended that way. Charlton have stayed in on the edge of their penalty area, inviting the ball forward from Schemmel. Dailly still forward from the earlier corner, but Charlton get a goal kick in the end. But there's no doubt that the emphasis has changed in this game, and it's changed in favour of West Ham.
Yes, it's impossible to dominate a game for 45 minutes, and I think the home fans have got to be a little bit more patient. They're playing against a very talented side here. They're already 1-0 up. The way that West Ham have got their team shaped, they're going to be able to pass the ball throughout that midfield. It's very difficult for the four in the middle for the park of Charlton, playing against five. They're going to have their percentage of the ball, so as long as they keep it at 1-0, it's not a problem.
Here's Carrick trying to change that scoreline. Rufus did really well. What a lovely little ball out for Kishishev as well. Excellent play there by Richard Rufus.
The other thing as well, Alan, is I don't think Charlton mind too much playing on the counter-attack.
Powell hits the deck. West Ham's free kick. Possession statistics continue to favour West Ham. The scoreline continues to favour Charlton, though. And Canio's got clean away from everyone. I'm very surprised he didn't finish the job off.
Well, that was awful defending from Charlton. They totally went to sleep. Canio was the brightest man on the field. Gets inside a fish. And you would expect him from that sort of position to at least hit the target. Dregs his shot across Kiely. He doesn't have to make a save.
Well, quick thinking there by West Ham, and it certainly had Charlton on their heels. Bartlett. Fish knocks it long. Svensson and Jensen in close support, but West Ham back in control of the ball. Winterburn under pressure from Kishishev. Brave header away by Tihinen. I was talking to Stuart Pearce about what kind of player Tihinen is, and he said he'll go for anything. And if Stuart Pearce thinks he'll go for anything, then you must have courage. Rufus uses the ball intelligently. Konchesky on to Stuart. Konchesky's continued his run. He's got him as an option, and also Jensen. A bit short that ball from Konchesky. Todd won't thank him for that, but they've kept possession. Stuart. Kanoute for West Ham. Brilliant play by Kanoute. This is Lampard. And a disappointing end to what had been a very, very promising move.
Yes, it all started with a great turn from Kanoute, then a tremendous run. He really is powerful once he gets going.
Tuesday night, nationwide Division 2 action. Two of the top teams in that league. Walsall play Rotherham. That's on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra. Our programme begins at 7:30. And more football. A beautifully poised Worthington Cup semi-final second leg. Liverpool against Crystal Palace. That's on Sky Sports 2 Wednesday, and that show begins at 7. for West Ham, who really have dominated the latter stages of the second half without reward. Parker, Svensson, Parker on to Bartlett, and back once again to the Swede. Just overhit it for Stuart. Good ball forward by Schemmel. Kanoute has been the biggest threat to Charlton, there's no question about that. Wonderful play again. And he overhit the cross in the end, but it's kept in play by Winterburn. Canio. Home fans getting increasingly impatient with the amount of possession West Ham are enjoying. Lampard with almost too much time on the ball then, ends up giving it away. They just can't get hold of it at the moment, Charlton. Dailly, Song. Now Cole. Here's Powell de Canio, let it run for Winterburn. Lampard. Good block by Parker. Still, de Canio.
What they're doing, Charlton, is they're getting numbers back, defending along the 18-yard line, getting plenty of players behind the ball, allowing West Ham to have as much of the ball as they want, and they're really restricting them to shots now from outside the box.
Well, Charlton have really tightened up defensively since the defeat at Upton Park on Boxing Day. They kept clean sheets in their last two Premiership games against Arsenal and Southampton. But the way the last 20 minutes has gone, they'll do well to keep another clean sheet tonight. Konchesky takes them forward. They still lead 1-0, remember. A minute of stoppage time being added as Jensen tests Forrest at the other end. Konchesky there again. Svensson goes down. Konchesky still there. Forrest scrambles. Winterburn gets it away. And for all West Ham's possession, they almost ended up conceding the second. But here's Powell de Canio. Schemmel wasn't where he thought he was. Svensson. Stuart. The mood of the crowd changes when Charlton are on the attack themselves, obviously. Fish. The clearance only as far as Stuart and on to Parker. Now Jensen. They still got pretty impatient here.
Yeah, it's certainly been a fascinating first half, Alan. There's a lot more football to be played in this game. Charlton have won up. I think there are more goals to come.
The shot from Kishishev, who is yet to score for Charlton, way off target. The one shot on target, beautifully put away by the South African international Sean Bartlett, and that brings us neatly to the half-time interval. Harry Redknapp will feel a lot better about the way his team played in the second part of that first 45 minutes, even though their finishing could have been better. Certainly Powell de Canio had a great opportunity to bring them level. Kanoute has looked a real handful, and Charlton have had problems containing him, but Charlton were rewarded for their better start with the only goal of the game so far. 1-0 to Charlton.
Thank you, Alan. And Andy's got a couple of angles on that goal we'll have a look at in a moment. 1-0 Charlton at half-time, despite the fact that West Ham finished very strongly there, and I would have thought have given themselves... Sean Bartlett's goal separates the teams here. 2 attempts on target, 50% strike rate. But the Hammers have had a lot of possession, Andy, and suggested towards the end of that half that they might find a way back in it too.
West Ham have done all right, Richard. I mean, when you look at the side, we looked at it at the beginning, we talked about the inexperience of the three players actually playing together at the back, but when you look in front of that, and when you think you've got people like Lampard, Carrick, Cole in midfield, Canio and Kanoute up front, it's no surprise that Harry would want those people on the ball. And they've done that pretty well. The only disappointing thing, 10 attempts at goal, and they haven't made the goalkeeper work once yet, and they've been good attempts. I mean, they've got in some good areas. I think Harry will be a little disappointed that they've gone in one down. But I think Alan Kirbishley will be delighted to get to half-time. I think it's important for them. Talked about what they might do tactically at the beginning, whether they'd go to 3 at the back to change it. What they have done, I think, is instead of playing Graham Stuart wide on the left, they've just tucked him in. And they've said, right, you 3 go and play against them. I think that shows he's wanted to keep his back 4 intact and not change that. They've altered it by moving Graham Stuart infield rather than playing wide on the left.
We wondered about Bartlett, 2 goals coming into the game against Manchester United. That was all in Charlton's colours. A third here, and a very good one too.
Lovely goal. I mean, I suppose West Ham fans might debate that did Dermot Gallagher help in this by getting in the way. I mean, that's debatable, I think. But they worked the ball quite well here from midfield. And, you know, when you set that up and you look at it there, yes, you know, the 3 centre-backs are all there. They're all sitting there nice in the positions there. Nice little line. I think what you notice, and what I always notice about Nigel Winterburn now, because he's playing in a 5, Richard, he's up there. You know, normally at Arsenal, when he played in a 4, I'll use the blue one, I think, and he would be tucked round a little bit, you know, giving them cover. And ready to come round on the cover like that. But because you play in a 5, then wing-backs don't tend to do that as much. But they work the ball really well, and this is where they get a little bit of fortune as it comes in. Referee gets involved here now, but they still lose it sloppily. Now, having done that, what Bartlett's doing here is he's just getting himself, you see, these are the 2 players again. He's not got a bad position, but there's what I'm talking about. Normally, he would definitely be round on cover now as the ball's starting to work over. But Bartlett picks his moment brilliantly. There he goes. The pass is a good one. The finish was very clinical indeed.
He didn't do a lot, did he, Bartlett?
No, he didn't. He didn't do much. Watch this player cam. I think this is fantastic. Watch his explosion of pace, Richard. He's doing nothing. Walking, but watch him. Watch him explode. Look at that. That's fantastic. You know, people talk about making space by moving all the time. Bartlett showed there, but by standing still, you can make space. Great explosion, wonderful finish.
And his goal separates the 2 teams. It's Charlton 1, West Ham 0 at the Valley. Second half is next. West Ham had. Is this the best that you've got here of them?
This is as good as. I think Kanoute's header for me was probably the best chance they had. 6 yards out, gets up in front of Mark Fish and gets a clear header at it and didn't hit the target. But I like this because it's bright and inventive football, Richard. A free kick's been given, and at times people switch off, but watch Canio. He's just drifting away. He's right here. He's just going to make a run in the back here. Just through there, and they're going to try and find him. They've just gone to sleep. Richard Rufus look, he starts to run away from it. Rufus is worried about Kanoute, and by doing that, he's left a huge gap. And all Canio's done wrong here is not hit the target. Anything across goal is good. Makes the keeper work. Kanoute might be tapping it in. Very bright.
1-0 to Charlton. Time then for the second half of Charlton against West Ham. A Sky Sports production available in widescreen, Dolby surround sound, and it's interactive for Sky Digital viewers on channel 404. Fan Zone amongst the features there. Our commentators, Trevor Francis and Alan Parry.
Thanks, Richard. Welcome back to the Valley on this soaking wet evening. Christian Dailly of West Ham making his debut for them tonight will be the subject of our player cam on Sky Digital channel 404 for the next 15 minutes. Well, Paolo Di Canio had that one wonderful opportunity to bring West Ham level. And in that exciting partnership in West Ham's attack, Frederick Kanoute has been arguably the most impressive attacking player on the field. Though the lone goal scorer, Charlton's Sean Bartlett, will push him hard for that particular title. Charlton have a good recent record against West Ham. They beat them home and away the last time they were in the Premiership, a couple of years ago. 4-2 here, in fact, in their last meeting at the Valley. And they've lost to their neighbours only twice in the last 13 league games. No changes of personnel during the half-time interval, and it'll be Charlton set to get the second period underway, defending a 1-goal lead. Dermot Gallagher, who had an inadvertent assist in the Charlton goal, signals the start of the second half. Charlton in red and white, West Ham in their change strip. Rain's hardly stopped, pitch cutting up, but still a very good surface here at the Valley.
Yes, despite the fact that the home supporters were quite concerned about the possession that West Ham had prior to the interval, I don't think it's bothered Alan Kirbysley too much. They're 1-0 up. He hasn't changed the shape of the side. I mentioned, of course, he's got the option to go to 3 at the back and match them midfield with 5, but he's kept it at the moment at 4-4-2.
Konchesky happy to get another throw on that far side, having his best season ever in terms of first-team appearances, and you can see why. He's been very impressive down that left-hand side, and finds Jensen here. Plays it back to him. Konchesky's cross is good too. Svensson went in with no real conviction, it has to be said, against Christian Dailly. But the 19-year-old Konchesky has played a key part in Charlton's improvement in recent weeks.
Well, I think I spoke slightly too early, Alan, because looking at the way that Charlton are now defending, I think they're going like for like. They do have 3 at the back. 3 being Rufus on the right, Todd in the centre, and Fish has gone to the left-hand side. With Kishishev, right wing-back, and Konchesky, the left wing-back.
So although the personnel remains the same, the setup is different from Charlton's point of view. Kiely's clearance, Tihinen with a header away. And this is Parker. Now Rufus down the line to Kishishev, who will be quite happy in that wing-back role. He loves to get forward. Stuart doing well to retrieve possession there for Charlton. Parker finds Jensen. Svensson takes over. He's only managed a couple of goals in the dozen games since he returned to the team. Matthias Svensson, he was out for the early weeks of the season with a broken wrist. Of their last 7 games here at the Valley, and interestingly they've kept a clean sheet in all 7 home wins this season. Kanoute taking on all comers again and getting round them. Well, if that was meant to convince the referee he should have had a penalty, it was pretty unconvincing, but the run was impressive.
It certainly was a good strong run, beating Fish down the right-hand side. If only he could have just looked up now. Canio was waiting square for the ball. Well, not quite sure what that was at the end. It was the dying swan.
And Dermot's been around too long to be fooled by that. Rufus almost got into a mix-up then. Is in his shrugging shoulders and waving arms at teammates mood. There's Parker. Stuart. Konchesky. Pressure there from Carrick, but they keep possession. Where's he going to go here, Parker? He knows. Away in the end to Schemmel. Lovely little ball for Cole. He's got forward from his usual defensive position in this West Ham attack. Canio on the ball. Didn't quite put it back to the right position because he had Lampard amongst others well placed. Tihinen, big, strong lad. Finnish international comes forward. Song and Dailly, all three West Ham centre-backs in the area. Dailly won the header. This is Winterburn. Carrick. Lovely ball. Lampard. Canio again drifting out to that right-hand side. Home fans felt that was a foul throw there. The officials saw nothing wrong with it. And Powell keeps going. Did well to find Svensson, who did equally well to control it. Now Konchesky. Stuart couldn't control it, and West Ham get a throw. That's one of the few mistakes that Frederick Kanoute has made tonight. He got 2 goals in that 5-0 win against Charlton on Boxing Day, and now has 7 goals in his last 6 appearances. Jensen beaten to it in the end. Rufus wins the race for possession with Joe Cole. Now Kishishev. Got a little bit lucky there, I think. Rufus, Jensen. And Parker, the crowd warning him that there was a challenge coming from behind. And Kishishev unable to keep it in play. 5-0 on Boxing Day was West Ham's biggest ever victory against Charlton, but they haven't won here at the Valley for 43 years, would you believe, and indeed that's their only ever league win here. Joe Cole tries to lose Parker, does so. Parker just did enough to make the challenge, which is why Cole is claiming a corner.
Yes, that's the second determined run from Cole. Parker tries to get the tackle in, but the pace of Cole takes him past Parker. He can't quite direct his shot on goal.
Cole started the last couple of games now after his injury problems this season. And one of the players, that's Sven-Goran Eriksson, who's amongst the capacity 20,000 crowd tonight, will be keeping a careful eye on, I'm sure. Kishishev, the Bulgarian, onto the Dane Jensen. There's one Englishman anyway, Rufus. Got 11 different nationalities in their squad these days at Charlton. Kishishev, good ball, Bartlett gets up. And Craig Forrest is a big, big man. Have to be to claim that. Good early clearance too. Mark Fish gets there ahead of the Canio. West Ham get the throw. Lampard. This is Carrick. Under pressure from Jensen, finds Kanoute. On to Lampard. Kanoute lying injured from the earlier challenge. West Ham's attack continues. He's back on his feet now, Frederick Kanoute. Winterburn. Poor ball. Oh, just about got there. He was getting tugged from behind. Still kept possession. And Rufus in the right place to clear. This is Parker. Real flow to the game now. It's been interesting throughout, but very promising at the start of this second half.
Yes, you just wonder in the second half how the 3 Charlton defenders will cope against Canio and Kanoute. Both very clever players up front. Great strengths, other movement. And with one less defender to contend with now, it's an interesting second half. You just get the feeling that Canio and Kanoute will fancy their chances playing against the back 3.
But for the moment, it's Charlton applying the pressure and maintaining their lead. Jensen beaten to it at the second attempt. Still fighting for possession. Parker inadvertently gives it away. Here's Kanoute. Another wonderful run by Kanoute, and a lovely little ball too. Chance here, surely for Cole. Claim for handball, but from my position, it looked as though it hit the defender on the chest. Here's to Canio. Now Winterburn. West Ham so close again to an equaliser.
Alan, the move was absolutely fantastic and it deserved a goal. Brilliant play from Kanoute, replacing Schemmel. Great pull back to Cole, and you can see there how well Todd does. He gets back on the line, it hits him quite clearly on the chest. No suggestion of handball, but really great opening. West Ham should have equalised.
Well, Andy Todd to Charlton's rescue then. All the West Ham supporters and most of their players turned and appealed, but the replay completely vindicated Mr. Gallagher's decision. Here's Kishishev at the other end. Good challenge by Dailly. Now Cole. Long ball aimed at Kanoute. And Dean Kiely knew that he was favourite to win that race. Not exactly holding on by the skin of their teeth at the moment, Charlton, but their lead is beginning to look flimsier and flimsier. Todd finds Bartlett. On to Klaus Jensen. This is Scott Parker. Carrick puts him under pressure. Canio, brilliant skill, and again the Italian. Kanoute and Lampard ahead of him in this West Ham attack. That's Lampard, but it never quite got to him. Once again, it was Todd who was strong.
Yeah, certainly West Ham are dominating now. You get the feeling they're not too far away from an equaliser. Just wonder now if whether Alan Kirby's having reservations about changing the system. And certainly at this moment, West Ham have got a stranglehold on the game.
And win it back again. Lampard finding Cole. Carrick. It's all West Ham at the moment, and even Tihinen has got this far forward for the first time. Well, Kanoute took a shot there where many players probably would have taken a touch before.
Great driving run again from Tihinen, plays it into Kanoute, can't quite get himself balanced, hits it with his left foot, slightly off balance, and balloons it over the bar. Well, that's the chance for Cole. He's unlucky, isn't he? Gets it on target, but it's good defending from Todd. Two Charlton players went back onto the goal line. He gets lucky, hits it straight at Todd, hits him on the chest. Stops Charlton from conceding the goal. But you just sense, you know, that something's got to be done to stem the flow now, Alan. I mentioned probably going back to a change in tactics, possibly a change from the bench. Bring fresh legs on, just to try and change something, because at the moment it's total dominance from West Ham.
Schemmel gets forward, knocks Konchesky to the ground, and is stopped in his own tracks by the award of a free kick. How much West Ham dominated in the early stages of this second half, just the last few minutes. Andy Todd has certainly kept Charlton's lead intact, and now Rufus. Stuart. Winterburn wins it back, and a good clearance, finds Cole, on to Kanoute, well played again, Todd. It really is a chip off the whole block in the way he anticipates danger. Kishishev. Bartlett. Clearance was by Song, only as far as Parker. Jensen. The crowd, once again, as they did at stages of the first half, getting frustrated with Charlton. It's not helping them any. Konchesky. And Song in quickly to clear. a bit of activity on the Charlton substitute bench now. It looks as though Alan Kirbishley is thinking of making at least one change. In fact, he's got, as you'll see on the right-hand side of the picture there, 2 players warming up. John Salako out on the track surrounding the pitch, and also the young striker Lisbie apparently ready to be introduced as well.
Yes, it doesn't surprise me. I feel he has to do something.
Svensson gives it away. He could be one of the candidates to be replaced, I should think. This time we've got a player lying injured in this attack, and the challenge from Winterburn has led to a collision off the ball. The referees tried to keep an eye on the play and keep an eye on what went on between Winterburn and Svensson. I think that all stemmed back to the earlier challenge.
Well, it's the initial challenge from Winterburn, but just look at the reaction now from Svensson. There we go.
Now, Dermot Gallagher, who's one of the more lenient referees, has decided just to tell them off. No sign of a yellow card.
Well, there was definitely afters there, wasn't it, from Svensson, but Mr. Gallagher, who saw exactly what happened, chose to ignore it.
His son. Gives it to Christian Dailly, who looks for Kanoute down the line. Kanoute gets a free kick, fouled by Mark Fish. Still no sign of the Charlton changes. An anxious period of the game this for the home side, even though they are in front. Just over an hour gone. Tihinen was blocked legally by Bartlett. Winterburn will get the treatment now from the home fans.
Yes, Bartlett did a good job there when he went back to defend that free kick. That's all you ask of your forwards when they come back. If they can't head it, make sure that the centre-half doesn't get a clear header. And he certainly did that.
Now it's Paolo Di Canio's turn to get frustrated again, and that Italian shrug that we've grown so used to. Alan Kirbishley and Mervyn Day just issuing the instructions to Kevin Lisbie, and I presume John Salako's already had his. Won the header this time. Bartlett. Carrick has it back for West Ham. Canio out on the right. This is Schemmel. Lampard. Jensen has scrapped for possession. And it's getting pretty interesting out there now. The tackle's getting a little fiercer. Kishishev. More like a local derby at the moment. Svensson, his old friend Winterburn in close attendance. Rufus finds Parker. This is Stuart. Konchesky makes the run inside the defender. Again, West Ham get it back, and it was a clever ball out by Cole to the Canio. We've only got Kanoute in an advanced position at the moment. Here he is. And the Canio felt he was hauled back there by Rufus, and I think he had a case, frankly. Winterburn could be in trouble this time. I don't think he's going to get away with that tackle, particularly in view of what's just happened.
Well, Winterburn was claiming there that he got a bit of the ball.
Certainly the free kick's gone against him, but it would appear that nothing else. In the meantime, that belated change is about to take place. And as we suspected, Matthias Svensson is the player who's going to come on. Kevin Lisbie will come on in his place. He's only recently returned to the side after a month's loan at Queen's Park Rangers. He was first choice in the opening weeks of the season. For the moment, Salako stays on the bench then. Todd's free kick, disappointing, given away. Dailly. Being headed there by Fish to win it back for Charlton. South African can keep going here. Finds his international teammate. Dailly's clearance. Richard Rufus will be the subject of Player Cam on Sky Digital Channel 404 for the next quarter of an hour. And judging by the preceding quarter of an hour, he could be busy. Cole finds Kanoute. He is so difficult to shake off the ball, isn't he, Kanoute? Aye, steady on. Schemmel and Todd getting involved this time.
I think the linesman was right there, Alan. Definitely Todd was holding off Kanoute. Referee didn't spot it, but it was good. Good play from the linesman.
Quickly taken free kick keeps West Ham's initiative going here. And an up and under. Kanoute will try and get onto it. I'm not sure he did win the header in the end. I think it was the young Finnish centre-back Tihinen who made the final contact wide. Well, you can understand his frustration. A match in which in the first 15 to 20 minutes his team looked in control, got their goal in that period, of course, has increasingly gone away from them, although the scoreline, crucially, is still in their favour. Just look at that, Trevor. Twice as many and one more in terms of goal attempts for the visitors.
Yes, but just the two on target. That's a disturbing factor for West Ham. Had enough of the ball, enough chances.
Could be another on target here. Wow, one of the best finishers from a midfield position in the game has failed.
Once again, Alan, the build-up play is excellent. Lovely play here from Lampard. Canio flicks through the defender, he follows his ball, don't quite get hold of it. Unfortunately for him, it's straight at Kiely. It's a reasonably easy save for him.
14 goals he got last season, Frank Lampard 4 already this. And you would have expected him to do better there. Rufus, meantime, looking for either Lisbie or Bartlett. It doesn't matter, the linesman's flag is up. It wouldn't have counted anyway, because offside had been given there. The referees acknowledge that. It allows play to continue. Carrick, Cole, Lampard, and now Kanoute for West Ham. The long ball is aimed at the Canio. Rufus has got to keep his eyes on the ball here, and did so.
Excellent diagonal ball there from Carrick. That's the question of Rufus. He had to be very attentive as the ball came through the air. He knew that Canio was lurking just behind him. Did the sensible thing, couldn't take a chance. Headed it out for a corner.
Tihinen and Kanoute, 6-yard box. Dailly is in there as well. How's Jensen with the clearance. Not a single Charlton player near the halfway line. Joe Cole takes the cautious option. Now Lampard. Kanoute, Lampard's there again, goes down, nothing given. Parker for Charlton, they can't find a way out. They might now with Bartlett on that far side. And now Lisbie. Once again, they couldn't keep it going for more than a couple of passes.
That was a pity, because it was a great ball from Parker. Played it in behind Song, into the space. Very impressed with him, Alan Parker, for a young lad. It's not easy in that midfield for him, but he's done very, very well. Looks very composed on the ball.
Good layoff, Kanoute, and it's Song on the attack. Not for long. He's left a bit of a gap behind now, and Lisbie's got the pace to get into it. Dailly across on the cover. Bartlett is in a good position, but he couldn't find it. Tihinen's clearance. Canio literally hauled Kishishev to the ground. Well, Powell will say, all the things you've let go tonight, Mr. Referee, why is it me that gets the first yellow card? He might not have put it quite as politely as that, probably, but caution anyway. He feels referees have a vendetta against him. I think sometimes he feels the world has a vendetta against him. Harry Redknapp must be wondering when his side are finally going to get that goal that their play for much of this game was merited. Good run by Carrick. And he gets a free kick now by Kishishev. Position this. Set up for Lampard to hit it, but there were just too many bodies in the way.
I can't believe that Todd was 10 yards off that ball, Alan.
Canio, Winterburn, and Kiely to Charlton's rescue. Here's Stuart. And Winterburn. Joe Cole. Return ball from the Canio. Kanoute's there too. And the Canio again, chance here. Brilliant! Superb equalising goal by who else? Paolo Di Canio.
Well, you can't say it's not been coming. Fully deserved. Cole involved in the build-up, but just look at the ground that Di Canio makes up. Goes past Fish. Drives it with his right foot. That's a brilliant finish. Very little backlift, but he gets terrific power. Well, I'm sure Kiely will be disappointed with that. He gets a good hand to it. But the power of the shot goes straight through him. Fully deserved equaliser.
Goal number 10 of the season for Paolo Di Canio. He's now drawn level as leading scorer with Frederick Kanoute. I said it was a chance. It wasn't really, was it? But you just knew, you instinctively felt the moment the ball came to Di Canio, he was going to have a crack, and you knew it would be on target. Charlton have now brought on Chris Powell, who you saw a moment ago, and now also John Salako coming on.
Number 28, John Salako.
As a reflection of the way the game's going. Konchesky and Jensen, the two players who've been replaced. And this could be a very interesting last quarter of an hour or so at the Valley. West Ham in the driving seat, level on the scoreline, deservedly so. And at the moment, Harry Redknapp's team playing the better football, without question. But it's been a typical night, hasn't it, in many ways for Canio. He's fallen out with teammates. He's had a go at the referee. He's ended up being the only player, so far anyway, whose name has gone into the referee's notebook, and he's brought the game to life with several moments of brilliant individual skill. None more so than that goal.
It's the one thing you never lose, is that ability, and he's got abundance of it.
Richard Rufus shows his ability on the ball. And it's set up for Stuart. Thought about hitting it first time, lays it off to Powell. Well, that was his first contribution, and almost a dramatic one from Chris Powell.
Well, very rarely does Chris Powell score. I don't think he's ever scored for Charlton, has he? But it was a good pick out from Stuart. Powell onto his left foot.
Spot on. His last goal was 3 years ago for Derby County. Dailly's clearance. Stuart leads the counter charge. Blocked by Tihinen. And space has opened up for West Ham. Powell on the ball. Kanoute and Canio ahead of him. And here is the captain and goal scorer again. Brilliant play once more. He felt he should have had a free kick for a foul by Rufus.
Well, Alan, quite clearly Rufus is pulling his shirt back. I mean, he's entitled to get a free kick for that. No wonder he gets upset.
Kishishev. Decent ball in, headed away by Dailly. Lampard finds Cole. At the moment, West Ham looking the likeliest team to score again. But such is this game that you certainly can't write off Charlton. It's been a good match. You won't appreciate the entertainment value. It's all about the result. Just can't keep still at the moment. Alan Kerbishley, there's nothing he would hate more than to lose again in quick succession to West Ham United, having had that thrashing on Boxing Day at Upton Park. He really wanted revenge tonight. He said all the diplomatic things before the match. Lisbie's little header picks out John Salako. Chance to cross, leaves it instead to Chrissy Powell. No hesitation at the back for West Ham. Stuart, and now Tihinen away. Cole with the first time ball. Rufus gets there ahead of Canio.
Yes, it wasn't the worst of balls. I think it was for Kanoute with his extra pace. It would have been a great ball.
Kishishev, Winterburn. Played some very good football, West Ham, tonight. Kanoute has been magnificent.
Oh, he should have given it to Canio on his left-hand side. Oh, he's elected to go alone, but if only he'd spotted Canio. 2-on-1 situation. I can't believe Kanoute doesn't play him in. Just look at this now. Totally unmarked. He's looked at him, ignored him, gone on his own. Going further away from goal. Powell ushers him away from goal. Can't get his shot on target. And what an opportunity that was for West Ham.
And he'll be the subject of our player camp for the closing stages of this game on Sky Digital Channel 404. And off he goes again. It's for Cole this time, and it almost came to him accidentally off the defender's shins.
Once again, a great turn on the ball from Kanoute. His pace takes him away from the defender. Gets great support from Cole, but can't quite measure the pass into the path of Joe Cole.
Well, in the first 15-20 minutes or so, Charlton were looking at a revenge victory. At the moment, they would more than happily settle for a draw. There's no doubt about that. Canio with a lovely little return ball again. Just failed to get the corner they were looking for out of that, although Schemmel complains anyway to the linesman. 10 minutes to go here. Tomorrow night, Division 2 action. High-flying teams Walsall and Rotherham in opposition. That's on Sky Sports 1 and Sky Sports Extra, and our programme begins at 7:30. Then Wednesday night we go to Anfield. Can Liverpool or Crystal Palace, which of them will come through to the Worthington Cup final? Sky Sports 2, the programme starts at 7. Now Stuart makes a bold run at the heart of West Ham's defence. Now Powell. And Lisbie's on the ball and tries to pull it back toward Bartlett, can't do so. Kanoute for West Ham. Joe Cole, space is opening up everywhere in the closing stages of this second half. Cole. And now Carrick. Winterburn joins the attack. Kanoute. His usual trick on the ball. And gets a free kick. Well, he's unusual, but absolutely breathtaking at times.
Well, Todd does quite well here. Initially uses good upper body strength, holds him up, but then another great turn from Kanoute forces Todd to drag him to the floor. You have to say that Todd is a little bit fortunate to get away with a yellow card there.
And Kanoute, in a footballing sense, has the misfortune to be French, and the world and European champions have so many good players to choose from in those forward positions that he might find it difficult to break through. In many other countries, I'm sure he'd be an automatic choice. He has so much skill. Here's Lampard. And a little deflection. He could easily have wrong-footed the keeper and gets West Ham a corner. West Ham's domination of most of the match reflected in the corner count. Tihinen tried to get his head on it. Couldn't do so. West Ham pick up the pieces and start again. Dailly and Rufus go in together. It breaks to Powell de Canio, and that means trouble. That wasn't the worst cross, not what everyone was expecting. And Charlton still under pressure to get it clear. 3 West Ham players surrounded Powell when he had the ball then. West Ham are not content with the point that is currently theirs. They're going for broke.
Yes, you're right, Alan. They sense they can win it. I'm sure Alan Kirbysley would take a point at this moment.
Kishishev. Too deep surely for Bartlett. Son, oh, he just got there, mind you. And Carrick in a difficult position. And well clear. Now Fish for Charlton. Salako on the ball. Stuart, Winterburn saw the opportunity to tackle. Rufus. Stuart. This is Parker. Over to his left. We've seen a space and gone for it. And still going. Great run by Scott Parker. What Charlton needed at that moment to take the game to West Ham. And that looks a useful cross. Richard Rufus just beaten to it by Tihinen though, and then given away. Stuart's shot was well blocked, if possibly accidentally so, by Michael Carrick. Cole finds Carrick again. Canio to Kanoute. Carrick once more. Charlton backing off. Powell sliding in to deny Powell de Canio.
Such clever players, Kanoute, Canio, Carrick, Cole. Some of the little give and goes they're playing. Joy to watch.
Considering it's such an understrength team, West Ham have performed very well tonight. So much better than the last time we saw them live on Sky Sports, where they were outclassed really by Manchester United on New Year's Day.
Yes, under strength, but not in the centre of midfield nor up front. And that's where they're dominant at the moment in those areas.
Lisbie doing well. Tackle. Song winning it back. West Ham still looking for the winner. Rufus slides in to clear the danger momentarily. Lampard. Strange mistake by him. Untypical. Now Kishishev. Salako. Offside. It seemed inevitable, and Lisbie didn't really look along the line.
No, he had plenty of time, didn't he? West Ham pushed up, yet Lisbie continued running. Can't blame Salako. He played the correct ball, but Lisbie had gone clearly offside.
Kanoute took a difficult ball well again. Schemmel. Lampard. Now Winterburn. Kanoute. On to Canio. He was hoping for a corner. He's got to settle for a throw. Well, West Ham have to settle for a point. Can they snatch victory in the closing stages here? That came off Winterburn. Nice little ball from Canio again, but Cole just caught by the tackle, dispossessed and injured in the process. Kishishev knocks it long. West Ham feeling that Charlton should have knocked the ball out of play then to enable Cole to get treatment, but he's back on his feet. Winterburn.
I think some of the Charlton players wanted the ball to be kicked out as well, Alan, just to take some of the steam out of the game. I think it was more of a tactical ploy than anything, but Kishishev wasn't aware of it, and he played a forward ball, trying to put his teammate on the attack.
That had crossed the line there before Powell got to it, so it's a West Ham throw. Just a couple of minutes remaining, plus whatever stoppage time we get. At least a couple more minutes, I would imagine. We've had a fair few substitutions. Not too many injuries in a game that's been played in an excellent manner by both teams. There was one little moments of silliness, I suppose you'd call it, involving Winterburn and Svensson. But by and large, good, competitive London derby with some excellent football, entertaining match, and still time for a winner. But who's going to get it, if anyone? The ball finally delivered towards Bartlett. Well, with his ability in the air, you felt there was danger then to West Ham. For some reason, we just misread it.
Yes, that was an interesting ball from Salako. For 1 second, it looks like it's going to land on Bartlett's head. As you can see, quite clearly goes behind him. But throughout the evening, he has been a threat in the air. Not so much second half. West Ham defended better. One more of the aerial duels. But certainly in the first half, Bartlett was outstanding.
Confirm that late change by Harry Redknapp. John Moncur replacing Joe Cole. Todd, who's had a really steady game at the back and made that critical goal line clearance, wins it back again. A little nudge there by Song, was it? No, Mr. Gallagher decides not. So it's a goal kick. eyes now will be on the fourth official. And I can tell you that the board reads 2 minutes. Rigobert's song launches it in the direction of Kanoute. He wasn't going to give up on that battle with Mark Fish.
He certainly wasn't, Alan. 91st minute. He went for that ball as if it was the first minute. It was always Fish. He was the favourite. But Kanoute's won himself a throw-in.
Won himself even more then. Going down for the second time in the penalty area in dramatic fashion.
Well, what a threat he's been all evening. He's been quite outstanding up front. Never makes it easy for the defender. Good in the air, good hold-up play, terrific pace.
Salako unable to get his cross in, but Charlton will keep it crucially in what should be the final minute now. Keep it in that West Ham half. Well, it hasn't been too often in this second 45 minutes. Who knows? Well, you just sense that we might have had one final twist of drama as Parker shot wide. And this could be the final attack of the game. And it is, and the game ends all level. Paolo Di Canio's superb equalising goal, earning West Ham a point they thoroughly deserved and cancelling out Sean Bartlett's early goal for Charlton. West Ham may feel they did enough to deserve all 3 points, never mind one, but in their 2 meetings with their nearest London neighbours, they've now taken 4 out of 6 points. And Alan Kirbishley, a former member, of course, of the West Ham Academy, will be satisfied at least that Charlton have regained a little bit of pride tonight after their hammering at Upton Park. Very good game. Paolo Di Canio has always got something to say for himself, even when the game is over. His goal has given us that final scoreline of Charlton Athletic 1, West Ham United 1.
What's it like? Paolo Di Canio, goodbye for now. He may be man of the match. We may hear from him very shortly. We'll find out. That's next, of course, here on the Monday Night Football, and his thoughts as well, and the reaction from the Valley. Our football phone you're on Sky Sports follows at 10:30. On Sky Sports 2 from 11:30, it's the World Cricket Centre. Highlights of South Africa against Sri Lanka today, and there's more classic boxing next on Sky Sports 3. And coming up tomorrow, there's live one-day international cricket from 3:30. It's the West Indies against Zimbabwe. And there's football tomorrow night from Division 2, Walsall against Rotherham, followed at 10 o'clock by live championship boxing. Tony Badea defends his title against Richard Williams. And his thoughts when we come back. One apiece at the Valley tonight, Charlton and West Ham. Walsall and Rotherham tomorrow night, remember, and on Wednesday night we turn our attention to the Worthington Cup. Sky Sports, including, of course, Sven-Goran Eriksson's first England match against Spain. This evening, from the Carling Premiership, one apiece, Charlton and West Ham. 20 attempts, the Hammers hit the target 4 times, all of those attempts second half. One booking, Paolo Di Canio, almost inevitably. No wonder he pulls his hair out at different times, Andy, isn't it?
That's staggering. Did well, though. I mean, you think of 1 or 2 tackles that went in. It's rather surprising that Paolo got his book for his. But they did well. I thought West Ham, I don't think very few people could ever argue about the result. They deserve something out of it, definitely.
Well, the man of the match was Freddie Kanoute. He's with Frank Lampard, and they're both talking with Claire Tomlinson.
Frederick, you're the Carling man of the match. You gave the Charlton defence quite a torrid time out there.
Yeah, I've tried to do my best. You know, it was very tough, and I knew it would be like that because the first game we won 5-0, so I knew they had the revenge to take, you know. So it was very hard for us, but we're happy with the draw.
Do you enjoy the derby atmosphere?
Yeah, I like it. It's very warm, it's very hot. I like it, you know.
After going behind, you dominated possession and you did have many chances.
Yeah, I had many chances, but I don't score every time, so I have to improve on that side, you know.
Were you pleased with your own performance?
Yeah, but I would have scored.
Alongside you, Frank Lampard. Frank, is it a game you should have won?
Yeah, definitely. It's the way we played in the first half. After the goal we conceded, I think we dominated the game. Had chances to really seal it up at half-time, I think, so it was a little bit disappointed just to get a point.
With Canio and the man alongside you, though, did you think that you would get that goal and get that breakthrough?
You do, but the longer it goes on, you think that it might be one of them days where it's just not going to happen for you. But great goal from Powell. From then on, I think we're the only team that's going to win the game. But as I say, slightly disappointed we didn't win it really because we dominated all the play. And on a better day, I think we could have had a few goals.
An interesting midfield battle out there in front, of course, of the watching New England coach.
Yeah. I mean, it's in the back of your mind that he's there. Us three in midfield being English and youngsters, you know, there's going to be a tension, but I thought we'd done pretty well out there. I think at times we dominated in the first half, and I think everyone really acquitted themselves pretty well.
Frederick is man of the match. Could you give him the champagne?
Sure, no problem. Well done, Fred.
Okay, thanks.
All right, mate. Cheers.
Thank you. Andy, were you pleased with the point at the end?
Yeah, I think so. At the end, you know, playing a very good team there in West Ham. But, you know, yeah, we just about hung on. Yeah.
You made the perfect start. Why do you think you weren't able to go on and capitalise?
I don't know really. I think West Ham made it very hard for us. They kept the ball very well, you know, and I don't think we could keep it long enough ourselves. So.
You were under so much pressure. Was it inevitable they would score in the second half?
Yeah, we were under the cosh a little bit. Well, I mean, it was a great strike by Canio. You know, maybe you can't do a lot about that.
You made one goal line clearance from Joe Cole. Did you know much about it?
Oh, I just died in front of the ball. Unfortunately, hit me on the chest.
How much is your home form propping you up this season? Because it's terrific, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done very well at home. So we've just got to, you know, pick a few points up away from home, keep the home form going.
Thanks, Andy. Well done tonight.
Okay, thank you.
I think the boys fairly summed that up in the main, Andy.
Yeah, I felt so. I don't think anyone can argue that West Ham deserves something from the game. But Charlton, you look at their home record, it's still only one home defeat this season. And whatever way you look at it, that is vitally important. It's a fantastic home record. And sometimes you don't always play well. We talked about this yesterday with Sunderland. Sometimes you don't always play well at home, and you can't always play well every game. What you've got to make sure you don't do, Richard, is lose the game. And it was a game that Charlton could easily have lost as it went on. They didn't. They can go on with confidence from there.
Alan Kirbishley's waiting to talk to us. Evening, Alan.
Good evening.
How do you look at that? Is that a point closer to that safety target for you?
Well, I think it's a point gain tonight, obviously. I think that over the two games with West Ham, they've been, I'm not just saying this, but they've been the best side we've played this season.
How do you cope with that, Alan? How difficult was it for you as a coach and a manager trying to stop them play?
Well, I've had, you know, we've been quite consistent so far this season, winning at home and not getting anything away from home. And you know, the catalyst was when we got beat at Upton Park, so we had to change it. And you know, we've stopped letting the goals in, but it's affected us the other way. I can't have it always, Andy.
No, I
know.
know.
We had to change it, and you know, we've had a little decent run since then. But if you get the players working as hard as that, then as you just said earlier, you know, that's a big bonus to us. And we've gained a point tonight. We know that. You know, we're not that naive. But let's give some credit to West Ham. I think their passing and movement was fantastic tonight, and we had to dig really deep. And I just saw the interview with Andy Todd, and that they laid down for me tonight. You know, they'd done everything they could, and they got me a point.
Was that the reason you changed it at half-time, Alan? Because you were worrying about the way that they were playing West Ham?
Well, I changed it to try and accommodate the shape of West Ham, and there was so much movement. And as I said, you know, I've ended up putting players in strange positions for them, and you know, and I've asked them to do me a job, and they've done it over the last couple of weeks, and they've done it again tonight. You know, if anyone had seen us in previous games here at the Valley, you know, no one has done that to us tonight, put us on the back foot for nearly the entire game, and that's great credit to West Ham.
What's different this time round, Alan? What are you doing as a coach, and what are your players doing as a team that's different from last time up, do you think?
Well, we're surviving the injuries. I know everyone's talking about that, but I don't think if you'd have said to me before the start of the season I'd be coming into games perhaps without Mark Kinsella, Andy Hunt, Jonathan Johansson, John Robinson. I don't think, I wouldn't have been able to cope 2 years ago. But the club took the decision to have a strong squad here, and people have come in, and every time they've come in, they've gone and done a job for me, which is fantastic. And we're inching up to whatever total we've got to get. I don't know. If we'd have won tonight, we'd have gone above Chelsea, and they're talking about getting in Europe and everything else. So,
are you thinking about Europe?
We're thinking about Dagenham and Redbridge on Saturday. We've got another big game coming up. But if you'd have said to me before tonight's game, the way West Ham played against us at Upton Park, if you'd have said we were going to get a point, I'd have took that. I think.
Yeah. You're looking forward to that one of the weekend, Alan?
Yeah, 500th game.
Is it?
They might present me with something down there.
They should do.
Yeah. No, we've got ourselves in a little bit of a hole, and it's up to us to get ourselves out of it. And we will go there and give it our best shot.
Well, good luck to you. We'll be there too. Looking forward to it.
Oh, you're taking it now then?
We're taking the highlights, I believe, aren't we? We're taking the
I
highlights.
thought Dagenham might have swung it a little bit and got you to come.
Well, it would have been nice, I think, if they had, wouldn't it? But no, we're there. We'll take the highlights, Alan. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Bye. So the story of the game here tonight was what? I mean, Alan's been honest enough to admit, I think we've almost nicked a point.
Yeah, I think the players that we've talked to and the Charlton manager have told us exactly what the story of the match was. We talked about how the back three had never played together for Harry. In fact, if you look at the back five defenders, Richard, plus the goalkeeper, then there's a distinct chance that 5 of those 6 players wouldn't have played if Harry had all these players fit. So that's a measure of what they did. And early on, they didn't do an awful lot wrong here, in all honesty. It was a well-worked goal, great little spin from Sean Bartlett, and a wonderful finish. So they didn't do an awful lot wrong there, but they got punished. And they started brighter, Charlton, but honestly, from then, Richard, and you thought if they could keep pressing them and you could keep West Ham defending, then they might be the way that they won the game. Test the back three, test their resolve. But once these guys got going, Kanoute, Cole, Carrick, the Canio and Lampard, they really did make it very hard for Charlton.
Talked earlier about the way Sunderland played yesterday, which was almost on the halfway line defensively.
Yeah.
Charlton were very deep today. They kept giving West Ham space. Did they almost invite trouble?
Well, I see, that's decisions that you have to make. Sometimes you can't affect the game. It happens. And no matter what you try and do from the touchline, you can't change it. It was a case that I thought that the more the game was spread, the better it suited West Ham. Because the players who had all great ability on the ball could use the space and manipulate the space. And the more stretched the game became, the more dominant I thought Charlton became. And when you're up against it like that and you're conceding space, you do tend to drop off. It takes a very brave defender to say, hey, come on lads, let's push them up a bit, squeeze the play, stop the Canios, the Coles, the Carricks, the Lampards in the midfield getting the ball and playing it. It's really difficult to do. And they stuck at it, Charlton. As Alan said, they laid down for him tonight. They really gave everything. And Harry would be absolutely, I'm sure if we get a chance to talk to Harry before the end of the show, I think you'll find he'll be absolutely delighted with that performance. They did pass it very, very well. They moved it. You see, when people talk about positions, Richard, there's an example tonight about you don't really need to do anything ahead of you. Here's where people like Joe Cole, Michael Carrick, Frank Lampard, Powell Di Canio and Frederick Kanoute, they were all over the pitch. No one really played in a set position. No one really played in one place. They popped up all over the football pitch. Joe Cole will think he probably should have done a little bit better, but you give credits for 2 Charlton defenders, Andy Todd included, getting back on the line.
Will Joe Cole and Carrick think they've had games that would impress Sven-Goran Eriksson?
Well, I think we've seen little cameos at times tonight certainly of what Joe Cole can do. He has wonderful ability, and a lot of West Ham fans and players think that Carrick will be better. So.